Diagnosing autism can be difficult because there is no medical test, but once the condition is confirmed, life can change in an instant.
As our Understanding Autism series continues, Mark Charter introduces us to a military family who's moved around the world, all while trying to find the best care possible for their son.
This soon-to-be 6-year-old didn't have the easiest start to life.
We didn't know that he had Down syndrome. It was a total surprise to us. And so when he was born, we had to be medevaced because he had not only a heart defect, but he had anorectal malformations, so he needed emergency surgery.
That life flight took them off a military base in Okinawa, Japan, to the state of Hawaii so Blake could stabilize.
He's had 10 different surgeries that, we have to continue to evaluate and look at where he is health-wise.
On top of all that, Blake's mental development wasn't quite where it should have been for a kid his age.
Patterns of repetitive behavior. You'll see a lack of social skills most of the time. You'll see a lack of social engagement.
We're talking about autism, and that was exactly the 1-2 punch diagnosis that came down from Phoenix Children's Hospital a few years ago. Health experts say 1 in 59 children is diagnosed with autism, and there are 4 levels of the condition, with 4 being the most intense. That's where we find Blake on the spectrum.
We're talking about bathing, toileting, personal hygiene. We're talking about social skills. He's just started talking at almost 6 years old.
And no doubt, challenges like that require some modifications to daily life.
Every morning he eats the same thing. Every morning he goes to school, he has varied support, and then in the afternoon, we try to keep things, pretty similar.
Because autism is a spectrum disorder, every person affected is unique. So treating that condition can be tough. That's where autism spectrum therapies comes in.
It's critical to have the treatment occur in the home. We have a stress and a value on parent participation and collaboration because they're really the driving force behind the treatment.
Spending time with colorful blocks and videos on an iPad may seem simple enough, but it's all part of a larger plan that's all about showcasing results.
We do regular assessments, standardized measures every 6 months and even more often to measure goals that we have assessed and developed with the team and with the family. And so throughout that progress, we look at those goals, we measure those goals, we report on those goals to the family and to our funding sources.
Caring for someone with autism is no easy task.
You have to rely on your community. You have to rely on people around you to help guide you because you can't do it alone.
But there is hope.
Looking at where he's come from, a kiddo with an open heart surgery and all he's had to overcome in his life to running and playing and jumping and talking and identifying numbers now. We've come a long way in 5 years.
You can call it a story of the glass being half full. From Asia to Hawaii to the desert of Tucson, here we are, almost 6 years after Blake was born, making strides in the right direction for someone who's had a difficult yet inspiring start to his first half-decade on Earth. Mark Charter, KGUN 9, on your side.